On January 27, Norbert Isaac, he moved from double digits to triple. Now, we were able to spend a little time with him in a socially distanced sort of way, and we had a conversation with him and some of his family members. We now bring that conversation to you.
Food 100 years old today.
As usual.
Eh?
As usual.
As usual? When you born?
The 27th of January 1921.
Right, today's 100 years?
Yeah.
So you're celebrating 100 years today?
Yeah.
How much children your father have?
I will give them. You have David, you have Anita, you have Ruby, now that twin. I follow them. You have Iris, you have Fred, you have Gracie and Julius, 9 of us.
And with that, you see, we have Mr. Isaac's faculty still very much intact, and we say good evening. Welcome back to the TTT News. I'm DK Roster. Very happy to be here with you. And we're saying happy birthday to a young man. And we say young man because it's 100 not out. Happy birthday, Mr. Norbert. How are you doing today?
Talking to you.
How are you feeling today, Mr. Norbert?
How are you feeling?
All right.
I have to show your voice a little bit.
No, man, you don't need to throw his voice at all. So in terms of, you spoke about the amount of siblings that you have, but we have a young man who's speaking next to you, Mr. Daniel, and we introduce you, Mr. Daniel, as the first son. So what do you feel? What kind of feeling you have to say that Dad reached 100?
Boy, it's a joy of a feeling that no one could really understand. You understand? And I thank God, pray for him every day to make sure
my
that he don't take care of it.
and my mother.
That's a better father.
Ellie, Viola.
And
Viola.
one of the things I hear though is that people say, well, even though you might be eating some of the same food, what used to go into what people doing now, very different from what used to happen a little while ago. So is it what do you think is the secret? I mean, we'll ask Mr. Norbert.
Well, the food that he normally eats is the food that he eats since he knows himself, because it's always ground provision. He don't stray from that, right? Ground provision, he wild meat, he everything in it, and he got to go, you know. Yeah.
I feel I want to bring in Mr. Glenn now because Mr. Glenn.
Robin, come man.
So in terms of, and we're saying hello to you, Mr. Glenn, and you're a nephew, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you say you're the one who normally you come and talk to Mr. Norbert and see how we doing. So what some of them conversations look like?
Well, he and my father were body, ring and finger. And when my father passed away, I had us to pick up the slack to continue his strength. And today, up to this day, every birthday he had from since he was about 89, we celebrated. We used to come and play all fours because he and my father, and two other brothers used to come go by each other, play all fours ever so often on a weekend. So that was a joy. I tried to bring that with my family. I also am the younger brother, the youngest son of three boys. So I have 3 other brothers that we used to come and play cards with him. So that helped him to keep him and to bring him along to this time. And I could only say thank God for the history that he exposed to me based on his father, my father, the way they live, and how we would like us to live as the next generation. And it's a blessing to have him to see 100 years.
Yeah, right.
To reach 100 years is the first time I've shaken anybody hand 100 years. So it's our glory, thank God, and blessed to be him.
And Mr. Norbert,
Talking to you.
I mean, he allowed to do that, right? This is his birthday today. Yeah. But in terms of saying, how do you feel to have some of your family members around today to celebrate this day with you, Mr. Norbert?
I'm feeling all right.
And we go back to you, please, Mr. Daniel. So in terms of even looking at the wall behind you, we see the family pictures, and it seems as though it's a close knit because you all have on the same jerseys today. You're matching. You have your theme, And even in some of those other pictures that we see on the wall, this is something that it seems as though you all have been doing for a while. Mr. Glenn talked about since '89, you all have been celebrating each birthday as they come as an additional blessing. What's some of the things that make the family kind of stick together with that kind of love and unity?
Well, because of him, you know, that love that he shared with us all, you understand? It keeps us all as in one accord, you know? Everybody always get together. Always remember always in charge, he always responsible, you know, he always here, you know, he always first, you know what I mean? And the life he lived, it was so beautiful for us, you know? We, you know, is a father of our father, which is so much love that we have no regrets, no complaint, you understand? So we always make sure that we show him that same love that he showed to us, and to keep us, bind us together all the time.
But you don't want to jump in your business a little bit. So what's some of the stories that you could tell me about Mr. Norbert? And I'll ask you, Mr. Glenn.
He never buy a box of food in his life yet. He don't eat leftover food. But he stopped cooking now.
Every second man, yeah.
He stopped cooking now over the last 3 years. Only the last 3 years. He accustomed doing the garden up to when he was 98 years. So he used to go and clean the yard and do his cooking. As I say, he never buy a box of food yet. He never used to eat leftover. Before 5:30 every morning, he don't get up and drink the porridge. 9 o'clock in the day, he don't cook the food.
Yeah.
The children them can't maintain the silence up to now. Because 11 o'clock they finishing cook. He stay up to now. If I today, if you wanted to cook today, for our little come in here, them couldn't cook today for you. So he had to get up and cook since 5 o'clock.
Well, I see a piece of resemblance now, so I'll ask you to introduce yourself, please, sir.
One man.
I'm Norbert Isaac.
Irvin.
Yeah, I'm the second in the family.
And we're seeing the close resemblance between
This is my
Daniel and
brother,
yourself.
they're my first brother, yeah. I'm second.
So in terms of wishes for your dad, what it is, because I'm sure you would have told him happy birthday already, but what are some of those that wish and stuff that you have for him?
I wish you could live to see my next 10 years. And if you could go beyond, it's no problem. I for that.
Is there some things that you feel that, well, not you feel, but what are some of the things that you would have taught you and taught your family going through that you all use and almost on a daily basis you always remember it and say, you know, Daddy said this, so let me do this?
Enough respect for everybody. Young and the old, enough respect.
And with that, we take a short break. We return. We're talking to Mr. Norbert Isaac. We also have Glenn. We have Daniel. We have Irvin as well. So stay with us. We return with more. We are speaking with the man of the hour, Norbert Isaac, 100 not out, and we see we have the jerseys represented it. So, Mr. Norbert, what's the secret? What's the secret to move into that 100?
I live as usual.
So, what's usual?
Yeah.
So, if you say you're living as usual, what's usual? What it is you're usually doing?
What's the secret?
I don't know secret. As usual. I live as usual.
I feel you keeping the secret from us a little bit, but talk to us.
Well, I could say in a sense his lifestyle, in the time where he didn't have no cars, so he's working from Samoa to Digger Martin, he'd have get up and ride from Samoa to Digger Martin every day. When he's not working, he and his brother go in and plant some piece of land, whether it's Lavantry Road or whether it's Komoto by his next brother, they go and plant the land. So on Saturday and Sunday, they're not working, and they ride them from Samoa to Komoto also. So they have no cars. So that all of that is keeping them fit for this part of their life now, we have to say.
And you see you're talking, that talking reminded me of my father-in-law. My father-in-law had a pet cow at a point in time.
Right.
So when you see how you talk about Mr. Norbert not buying box food and these kind of things, he could tell me about grinding his own coffee, making their own butter and cheese. And that's a different kind of base that you're dealing with as opposed to saying, okay, well, fast food, because sometimes you eat fast food, you live fast.
Right. The man said getting the ginger and drying it. And as I say, if he cook food for you, nobody, no housewife today ain't cooking food like he. I guarantee you, surety, I could boast on that. Yes, and because you cooking with the old food side, you dry, grating the ginger and you still drying it. Ginger lasting 5 years. When you buy ginger, you market it lasting 2 weeks.
As opposed to buying packet this, packet that.
Alright. So
and hoping that, okay, well, this flavor.
You get the soil and cut it, put it to dry. So old school, still have that in it.
So you're allowing him to cook that much this wrong, Mr. Daniel?
Well, these days he ain't doing that because he ain't stand too much on the street. So I the one always cook and make sure everything for him, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever he want.
We tell you about your cooking versus his.
Oh yes, he enjoyed it. Because you see, anything you cook, I eat. So it was so beautiful. It made me more comfortable and cooking whatever, you know. But I always come up with something he love, you know. Always come up with something that he love. You know, he enjoy it, you know what I mean? He never had the call to say, well, you know, I ain't like that. No. That is not how it goes.
But that brings the question, people say once a man, twice a child.
For sure.
So the way that you all wouldn't have him cooking, standing on his feet as much this round, sometimes you find a little bit of fight in terms of saying, okay, well, let me do this now, Dad. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, but we ain't no fight now because he leave me in everything now. So you understand? But to be honest with you, if you give him a chance, he right back behind there, you know. Yeah, he ready to. Yesterday he was there in the kitchen cooking and thing too. Yeah, so for your birthday, he decided to turn apart too. Yeah, it was good. He was good. He stand up there for about maybe 15, 20 minutes about that. Yes.
And one of the reasons I asked is because my granny, they actually took the sewing machine from her when she started to sew by feel. So, you know, sometimes you're used to doing something and nobody can really do it the same way that you do it, the way you cut that ginger and grate it. Sometimes you have your little thing that you like.
For sure, yes, it happened.
But you have a bush a rum punch you make. Well, I would like all to taste it. And you have a mango he does make. Yeah, I like all to bake it. Nobody selling that mango. Nobody can make that mango with that flavor. Nobody can make that rum punch with that flavor.
And you're taking these recipes and saving them?
Well, yes, we had to take.
But he just passes on to your daughter recently.
Because you know, sometimes I might turn the same pot as you, but it have two different tastes with the same ingredients.
I agree.
But at the same time, you're getting that wily manners there.
But it's very important to have. But at the same time, you don't no complain about it, so we know definitely it's in the making. You know. Yeah, so we good with that. We good with that. We could go with that.
No, I saw you
One thing I complain, yeah.
I saw you sitting with a Bible, Mr. Daniel. Spirituality is a big part of the family, helping the family stay together. Or?
Well, I'm spiritual Baptist and he's Catholic. There's a whole Indian spiritual in the family, you know. We pray a lot. Well, don't talk for he pray, but I love to hear him pray. He prayed so bad. I say, God, Father, if you
put the Pope to shame?
Shalman, boy. Make no mistake. You got to go. You could pray.
But I'll ask those questions again in terms of like praying for everybody, but in terms of what some of the other things that you would have learned, because Mr. Irvin said you learn respect in every aspect. Yes, everybody that you meet, and you have that within yourself. So you, with respecting yourself, you can respect others as well. What are some of the things that Glenn and Mr. Daniel that you all would have learned from Mr. Norbert as well?
Well, one thing we learned was a little cooking, right? The love you share with us, right? You respect, and we enjoy everything amongst ourselves.
One thing that to say, I never hear him use option language yet to my life. Never hear him use.
You're taking too much time praying for that.
I just said you take it into consideration now. I never hear him using obscene language in my life. I never hear him aggressive. I never see him offensive. I never hear him disrespectful. Never hear him talking to nobody with the wrong attitude. So I say that with tears coming out of me because it's feelings, true feelings.
That's a gentleman. No, but that's a gentleman. You have that. Yeah.
Son, you all are family members, and the way you're saying that, it raises my pause. But in terms of like people outside, in terms of friends, what, or just people that you would have known, be it you're going Komoto or you're going to work riding bicycle, what are some of the things that people would have said about us, are saying about Mr. Norbert?
Well, I say he's one in a million, and as I say, he's that to everybody.
Yes.
By his brother in Komoto, you have a brother in Komoto. When you go there, you have your own room. Because as I say, that is Inezia. That is the next brother, eldest daughter there. So she could testify to that where she father have know him and his brother coming by them anytime they want because the house is theirs too. So they live a unit among themselves as brothers. That, as I say, this generation have it among us that way. I could say my 6 other siblings, as well as his 8 other siblings, we are all knitted. Her family, we are all knitted. Sooner or later they will be here within the day. So we are all knitted. We pray, as I say, prayer is the foundation. And I take my name serious because I'm Isaac. We are all Isaac, but I say I am Isaac. Abraham's son is the sacrifice. You see, same as Daniel. Daniel is the one sleeping in the lion's den. His name is Norbert. So I say the name in itself gives spiritual blessing in itself.
And I want some blessings from you, please, Mr. Norbert, in the sense of what advice you could give me for me to reach a little, for my days to be a little longer.
You say what advice you could give him for you to live long?
I have no special advice. I just as I live.
I love a lot of adventures, right? So I'm the one in this family will take up myself here and go all around this world, checking for all of the families, any holding, I will tell you. The rest of them can't tell you. I travel, go all over.
And what you get that kind of adventurous spirit from your father?
Yeah.
Or it's something that he supports you with?
Nah, I get that from him. Myself and
I
was
go like
right.
hunting, diving, all kind of a thing, man.
We say you used to hunt, Mr. Norbert?
If I have to hunt?
And dive, yeah.
Yes, that was my trade. I go to the river, dive crayfish, I shot me on all them big stones, all them big longhorn crayfish.
So where you diving?
Huh?
Where you
you
dive?
used to dive?
Grenada.
Where you say dive? Where you say dive and catch them crayfish?
In the river,
Where river? Where? Who?
in Grenada.
Oh.
Well, that is part of the thing, man. And I say that because I hear some people tell me, some Grenadians, if that fish put on too long from the fisherman bring it, they don't want it.
Yeah.
So in terms of like that fresh food and being able to get it like that.
So how much crayfish you used to catch?
Huh?
How much crayfish you used to catch?
And sometimes I catch 3, 4, 5. I cut in, I
And
get fish.
who cooking it?
I come home with money, come home with guana, I come home with every damn thing.
And who cooking it? Who cooking it? Who cooking it?
My wife used to cook. My mother, all kind of oils. I eat everything. I eat monkey and all.
Well, I feel that's part of this. I feel that's part of the formula.
You eat monkey and all?
Yes, sir.
Money, and lap and guana.
Everything I eat, I don't refuse nothing.
I feel so. But I think we're good there for the hour because I don't want to take out your time too much. And on behalf of the entire news team, I want to thank you for joining us. I'm DK Ronsler. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.